You're going to love this. Here I am talking about toilets again. Tuesday AM at 2 a.m. in the morning, I woke up and I thought, oh, my belly feels horrendous. And let me tell you, the bottom dropped out of my world that night. And I must have been in the toilet for 45 minutes. Hello. Now, I think you can probably guess from either the title or the thumbnail of this video that something has gone wrong somewhere along the way while I have been taking my weight loss injection. If you've been following me for a while, you will know that I took a weight loss injection called Mounjaro for 11 months and I lost around 3.5 stone. I stopped taking it earlier this year in June, had a couple of months off, didn't really know how I was going to cope without taking it. However, the sickness and the nausea kind of got a little bit too much for me. And earlier this month or last month, it was this month, I decided to swap and take a different weight loss medication called Wegovy, which is considerably cheaper. However, I've had what I think might be an allergic reaction, but I'm not sure. So what I thought I would do was I would tell you the timeline of events, what's happened, and what this allergic reaction looks like, what this allergic reaction looks like. Now, when I took Mounjaro, when I kind of got to like the 5 ml, I had like an injection. It was like a raised area for like a couple of days. It was like a rash, like a red area. I'm not talking about that. This is something completely different. So injection site rashes or redness or blotchiness is really, really common as you move up through the weight loss injections. Yeah, quite a lot of people vlog about it and it's quite easy to find vlogs and vloggers and, people talking about that. But this reaction I've had is really difficult. I'm really trawling through the internet to try and find people who've had the same reaction as me. And I have got in touch with my weight loss provider, so I can update you on what they have said to me as well. So let me tell you what has happened. I'm on the lowest dose of Wegovy. Also, really sorry about the tragic lighting. Again, it's nighttime. I haven't had a minute this week to record a video, so I'm sat in the lounge with the best lighting I can get. I've got a washing basket upside down on a table, like trying to just get some decent lighting. But if you followed me for a while, you'll know a struggle of a nighttime trying to get the right lights. I took my first Wegovy injection, which was 2.5 on a Friday, probably about 3 weeks ago now. And yeah, it was absolutely fine. The pen was very different to the Mounjaro pen, how it kind of injects in you. I did it in my stomach, absolutely fine, no side effects whatsoever. And that was that. I'm not going to talk to you about the suppression or anything like, did it work? Because I've had a lot of people going, oh, like, how did you find it compared to Mounjaro? I'll film something completely separate for that because I have been having different side effects, which I know are Wegovy, but this one in particular, I don't know. I don't know whether it is the Wegovy or whether it's something else. So 1 week passes, Friday again, I do my second injection. And that day, we were going away for the weekend to Llandudno in Wales because we were going to a conference. So off we go to Llandudno, absolutely fine, everything was fine. That was that. Saturday, the conference, and we went out for some lunch because the conference finished at 1 o'clock. Now, I don't eat fish, and this is where things get a bit complicated because I had fish and chips and I only had a light portion of it and some curry sauce. I didn't have bread and butter and I just had it with a Diet Coke, and I don't know whether I've had a reaction to fish or something else or whether it is the Wegovy. So anyway, I don't eat fish because I don't really like it. However, we were with some friends. She's gluten-free. We ended up in a chippy. like, a chippy cafe. And I just thought, you know what, I'm going to try it because, why not? And it was either that or like just chips or fish or whatever. So anyway, I thought have fish and chips. And as a rule, I don't eat fish. I don't cook fish. I might eat tuna very occasionally. I do eat prawns. So we have fish and chips. And then me and Jed, we went out for a nice little afternoon. We were walking up and down the prom. We went to the end of the pier. And we had a little ice cream. And we kind of walked around, and then we went back to the hotel. We went into the restaurant in the evening in the hotel. We just stayed in a Premier Inn, and we just had some dinner there. I think I had chicken, like a chicken kind of wrap thing, I think, that night. Nothing out of the ordinary. And then we went to bed. And then the next morning we woke up and it was day 2 of the conference. And I said to Jed, I think I've been bitten somewhere, like on the beach or, the room was spotless. So I can't say I thought it was even the room. And I was like, have you got any bites? And he was like, no. So anyway, he looked at them and he went, oh yeah, you've got 3 bites there. So I just thought maybe on the beach something's got under my jumper or something. And it was kind of like on the back of your kind of your hip, like higher than your bum. And it was just 3 little bites, and that was kind of that. And then we went back to the conference the next morning. And then throughout the day, I kept saying, oh my God, these bites are tearing itchy. I said, I feel like I've got more and more. And I couldn't see any of them. And they were like on the base of my back, on my hips, and then there was like a couple moving up my back. And I said, I think something must be under my jumper and I'm just keep getting bit. And this was like the only place that I had these bites. Anyway, that was that. We came home and we came home that day, and then the next morning I woke up and I was like, oh, I've got more of these bites. So I was like, have you got any bites? And he's like, no, I've not got any bites. So I was like, oh no, I've got like more of them. So by this time I've probably got like 20 bites. Now, when you have an insect bite, they can be quite big and they can like swell up a little bit. I have allergies to dust, feathers. So sometimes when there's like feather pillows or like I'm around lots of birds, I sniff a lot and I sneeze a lot. Yeah, I'm more affected with feathers, but dust just makes me basically sneeze. Also, when I go on holiday, I'm really not the word, I don't know what the word is, but I get prickly heat really, really easily. So I have to use Allergy suntan lotions. I have to be really careful with products. I can't use anything with a high content of alcohol in it. I don't drink alcohol because when I drink alcohol, I go blotchy. I didn't drink alcohol at all while we were away. Because sometimes I find when I drink alcohol, I feel a bit groggy and I feel like really fatigued. And the next day, I feel like I've got a really bad hangover, even if I just have like 1 glass of wine or 1 Baileys or something like that. So I just thought I really don't want to feel groggy. So when I go on holiday, I have to be really careful. Like if I was to put after sun on overnight, then the next morning before I put suntan lotion on, I'd have a shower. I wouldn't put suntan lotion on top of like last night's after sun. I'd have a shower, I'd dry, I'd put suntan lotion on 20 minutes before I go out in the sun. And I probably sit in the shade for quite a lot of it. So I'm really, really careful with the sun. Even though I do love the sun, I probably enjoy the evening sun a bit more. So my skin is like a little bit more prone to allergies and having reactions to things. So anyway, Monday day, like I say, I woke up and there was kind of like more of these spots. I was like, oh no, what on earth's going on? Anyway, Monday night I said to Dad, I really don't feel great. I said, I think I'm just going to go to bed. And I said, my stomach just feels a little bit icky. So he said, okay. So went to bed early. You're going to love this. Here I am talking about toilets again. Tuesday AM at 2 a.m. in the morning, I woke up and I thought, oh, my belly feels horrendous. And let me tell you, the bottom dropped out of my world that night, and I must have been in the toilet for 45 minutes. Now, my tummy felt a little bit like, ooh, wishy-washy, but I didn't feel ill, like I didn't feel ill at all. Anyway, it was a good job. The next day, my car was in the garage to be serviced and had an MOT, and I had arranged to work from home the next day. Thank goodness I did, because I was not off the toilet all day, constantly all day. I was on the loo every time I ate something, and I felt fine. So I thought, oh, I'll have a little bit of homemade soup. Everything I ate that day was wholesome, really good food. It was no rubbish at all. It was just really, really good food. And within 20 minutes, I was on the toilet. I reckon 6 or 7 times that day. I couldn't keep anything down. However, I felt fine, but there was more and more of these spots appearing. They started to appear like, let me just, like here in sort of like the corner where my collarbone and my shoulders, my collarbone is. And they were kind of like starting to like creep over my back. Now, it's weird because they were like little tiny blisters or little tiny spots. And I was kind of having a bit of a scratch, but it was like little tiny blisters, and they were just kind of like a couple of them on my arm, a couple of them on my shoulders, still on my back. Honestly, it was really weird. It was like nothing I've ever had before. So on Tuesday night, I decided to take a couple of diarrhea tablets because I was back in work on Wednesday and I had an event to go to on Wednesday and Thursday, and I thought, I cannot be running the loo when I am somewhere else. Bad enough running the loo at work. So I took 2 diarrhea tablets to try and calm it down. And that was Tuesday evening. And I didn't go to the loo again until Saturday lunchtime. So that just shows you, I am quite a regular person. I do go every day. Hello, my name is Lisa, and I do talk a lot about going to the toilet. But, I'm asking you, I'm telling you this because this might have happened to you, or you might have some good advice for me. I don't know. Let me know what you think. So I took the diarrhea tablets. I've got a load of notes here of my timeline of what happened. Wednesday and Thursday, there was more spots, no more diarrhea, but I felt absolutely fine, except, like the spots are kind of like itchy for 10 minutes and then the itching stops and then another spot appears. And it was literally another spot's appeared in front of my eyes, and then an hour later there'd be another spot somewhere else. And I just couldn't keep up with it. And I was thinking, what on earth is this? And at this point, I didn't really relate it to the Wegovy at all because I didn't really know what it was. And I was thinking on the Thursday afternoon, if I'm still itchy like this, and this has been going on since Saturday and these spots are still appearing, I'm going to go to the doctor's in the morning. I thought I'd ring up at 8 o'clock. Our doctor's is really good and I can normally get in. That night I was thinking to myself, could this be a reaction to the Wegovy? Because I had my second injection and on the Friday, and then we went away, and then I started getting the spots on the Saturday, and here we are now, it's the following Thursday, and these spots are still popping up. So you're going to love this. I asked ChatGPT and said, put everything in. Could this be a reaction to Wegovy? And this is what it said. What I did was I took some pictures of what the spots looked like and I put it in and explained all about the timeline of events and said, what could it be? And it said, while the most common side effects of nausea and stomach issues, a small number of people experience rashes and hives, widespread itching, inflammation or irritation, or away from the site injection. Occasionally, a systematic allergic reaction, rare but possible. Especially relevant that your rash appeared a day or 2 after your second injection. That timing fits with the delayed hypersensitive reaction, which can develop as your immune system starts to recognise the medication. So I was like, well, what do we do now? Do not take your next injection until you've spoken to your GP, pharmacist or prescriber. And then it said things like, if you notice any of the following, call 999. Swelling of your lips, face or throat, which I didn't have. Shortness of breath or tight chest, which I didn't have. And feeling faint or dizzy, which again, I didn't have. So what did it tell me? What did it recommend me to do? Take an antihistamine. So I thought that's a good idea. So I went and had some antihistamines from holiday, and I took one of those. I didn't feel like I needed anything else. It recommended a cool compress, avoid hot showers, fragrance products, and just said keep an eye on the rash. But then it said to me, would you like me to help you write a short message or email to send to your GP or provider to explain what's happened? And I thought, yeah, that's a really good idea. So it did. It created that message for me, and I copied and pasted it, and I went and logged into Asda and I emailed my prescriber. And this is the message that I popped in. So I explained when I started taking it, and explained about the second injection, explained about the diarrhea, and I added in as much information to that email as I could, and explained about the eating of the fish, because like I say, I know people can have allergic reactions to fish, but I don't know what that what it would look like in terms of a reaction. And I included a couple of pictures, and then that was kind of it. And then I thought, you know what, I'm managing the itchiness, and I don't want to either my doctors. And I thought, I'll take the antihistamines, I'll wait for Asda to come back to me. And they did, to be fair, they came back to me really quick. I did receive a message. I also asked Asda, what should I do? Can I pause the medication? Because I thought I'm only on that first dose. So even if I stop, take a break for a few weeks, like I asked them kind of like what I could do. And in summary, they did say that I can pause the medication as I'm only on the first dose. So this was Asda's reply to me. It said, thank you for your query about Wegovy. I've put together information here that may help some of your concerns. It may be worth getting this reviewed by your GP to see if you feel the rash is secondary to the medication or not. If it is, that would be advisable to stop the medication. As you've stated, there are lots of reasons it could be. Yes, you can pause the medication to see if it improves or not. Most side effects start at the beginning of the titration, when you're gradually increasing your dose, and they tend to settle once you've on a maintenance dose. So if you can persevere or tolerate them, they should improve with time. So then it talks about headaches, constipation, diarrhea, heartburn, indigestion, nausea, the sulfur burps, low sugar symptoms, injection site reactions, which it isn't. And that's interestingly says it affects 1 in 10 people for site injections. And then it does say to stop using Wegovy and get medical help if you have any of the following symptoms or a serious allergic reaction, including swelling of your lips, face or tongue, fainting or dizziness, rapid heartbeat, problems with breathing, swallowing, severe rash or itching. Now, I wouldn't say it was a severe rash as such, but it was probably... and it was quite itchy, but it didn't really look like a rash. You know what? Loads of things went through my head. Is this meningitis? Because I had like a glass on it. Is it that a coincidence? I also have contact dermatitis. So certain things I can't touch. So like alcohol swabs I can't touch because it all like makes my fingers go like blisters. If you've ever had contact dermatitis before, so I used to be a nail technician. And when I used to file and nail dust used to land on my fingers, it was like blisters and bumps. And my hands swell up and go really itchy with things like alcohol and different kind of products. So yeah, there's kind of a lot going on, isn't there? I know this is like a lot to take in. So yeah, I didn't have any what I would class as a severe rash or itching. The spots, I probably ended up on my arm, like on my forearm here, with about 3, probably about 20 little spots on my back. I had a couple of little spots on this hand, a couple here. I had one on my chin, which was there. I had one on my neck. the majority were on my back. I couldn't see them, so I got Jed to take some photographs of them for me. So yeah, I don't know whether this, I don't know what it is. Have I eaten something and had an allergic reaction to something else because I've been away, and was something in food? Was it the fish? Is it the Wegovy? I'm really unsure. I really don't know. Probably today and yesterday are the first 2 days where a new spot hasn't appeared, and I haven't had any itchiness at all. I haven't changed my any washing powder. Everything's been the same, except I have been away and slept in a different bed, but I just can't see that causing a reaction like this where it's kind of like ongoing. However, I did think about doing some allergy testing, but I don't know. What do you think? What do you think I should do? Do you think it's the Wegovy? Do you think it's fish? Do you think I've eaten something else? I don't know. I'm really stuck, and I don't know what to think. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry on taking the antihistamines probably for another week, and then I'm going to wait another week, clear, and then I will probably start taking the injection again, trying it again when all the spots have gone. And then by the time I take that second injection, I might order another pen and just see whether I have the reaction again, because it wasn't very pleasant, but it was bearable. I just don't know whether, I don't want to say it's the Wegovy because I can't prove it. I really don't know. Oh, so what I thought I would do in that period of time of not taking it is I would order an allergy test kit to to test for food intolerances. I wouldn't say like I have allergies to food, but I'm really interested with the alcohol, even though I didn't sort of drink any alcohol that weekend when I was away. Yeah, it's just a bit weird, isn't it? Like I'm really unsure, and I don't know what to do. But I thought I'd come on and have a little chat with you, because you lot here are really helpful sometimes, and some of you may have experienced this, or you may have known somebody else who has, and you may have some suggestions for me. Do you think it's the Wegovy? Do you think it's the fish? It just seems really weird that I ate the fish on the Saturday, and then the Monday night I literally had the worst diarrhea. And when I was taking Manjaro, you can either get constipated, or you can get diarrhea. And I have not had diarrhea like this I don't know, it was awful. God. I just feel like I'm really sorry that I'm talking about diarrhea again and poos, but I think I'm just trying to be really honest with you and tell you about my experiences, because some people take weight loss injections and everything is fine and they don't have any side effects at all, but I just want to be honest with you and let you know what's going on. So that's where we're up to, and yeah, how are you? What have you been up to? So yes, that is what has been going on, and I'm really sorry that I haven't made any videos, but I made a video about soup because, I bought this new soup maker, and I made a really cracking video about soup, albeit it was very long. It kind of went a bit wrong because I didn't read the instructions properly, because I'm a nightmare, I know. And then I edited this video and I got to the end and I realised I hadn't kind of done the last sort of 10 minutes of this soup video. And I realised that when we'd gone away to Llandudno, I keep going to say Llangollen, that we were on the beach and I was deleting old videos off my camera, and I must have deleted the last video that I shot for the soup video. So then when I got back and I edited it all and I'd forgotten I'd put it on. So anyway, then I just thought, there's just no way to recover this video, so I deleted that one. And then I was going to do my first week on Wegovy, and then this thing hit me in the middle of it, and then I thought I'll do 2 weeks. So my next video I'll probably record will probably be in a couple of days, or maybe one night this week, probably Saturday when I get around to doing this now, or maybe even Friday, I don't know. And I'll do my first 2 weeks, and I'll tell you about the suppression, the other side effects which I know are Wegovy, and you know how everything's going, or not, as the case may be. Yeah, I just feel like I'm in just such a rut. It's just awful. Not awful. It's not awful. It's just. But however, I have been really good at going to the gym. I've been really back into that really, really well. So I'm pleased with myself for that. And I finally, thank goodness, have an appointment for the cortisone in my hand, which is 4 weeks on Friday to wait. So I'm really pleased about that. Anyway, my loves, that is me. Thank you so much for persevering and getting this far through the video, because I really appreciate it. I appreciate you taking the time to watch and listen, and I would love to hear from you in the comments. I've had loads of new followers on Instagram as well. Lots of people sending me messages on Instagram, and I get it. I know people don't want to comment on these videos sometimes because they don't want other people to see the comment. And I've got some lovely people following me on Instagram, sending me little messages. Really appreciate it. Sorry if my replies are only very, very short. It's been really busy in work. I work in a college, and I still work during the holidays. I don't get all of those holidays off as well. I can take my holidays whenever I would like. So yes, lots and lots going on. I've been trying to fit my Avon in. I've been trying to list loads on Vinted. I've been trying to sort the house. The house feels really untidy because I'm kind of like trying to declutter here and there and sort things out. And also I'm an untidy person. I'm not dirty. I hate dirt. But I am naturally untidy, scatty person. So yeah, there's kind of like loads going on in every room at the minute with trying to sort of declutter. I don't know, the weather sounds horrendous. It's absolutely lashing it down. Is it thundering? I'm really not sure. Anyway, I need to go and cook the dinner because my husband is at work. He's having to do some evenings. He's not going to be home till very late tonight. And my daughter will be home in about 40 minutes. And I'm going to cook us meatballs with pasta and some parmesan on top. So yes, thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you wouldn't mind, because that helps little creators like me get found by other people, because the algorithm loves all that when you press thumbs up buttons and when you make a comment, and it really does help small creators like me. Thank you very much. So yeah, YouTube's probably going to recommend something like a playlist or something for you to watch next. Yeah. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.